A new study came out that concludes that men and women on Tinder have lower self-esteem, possibly because of Tinder. Are you shocked by that result?
No, but I think it sounded like you were shocked at the beginning.
I was a little shocked. I was like, what?
Yeah.
No!
A new study is...
A new study! According to a paper presented at the 2016 Annual Convention of American Psychological Association, which surveyed more than 1,000 men and women of college age, men who used Tinder were more likely to suffer from low self-esteem than men who did not use the app. Now, it's interesting because they're talking about men specifically because 62% of the Tinder active user base is men.
No way!
Which leads to this, imbalanced feeling for men of being ghosted and rejected at times.
Not finding a match.
Not finding a match. Whereas I think that also has something to do with the hierarchy of the two genders when it comes to like sex and relationships, where I think I think women have the upper hand usually, especially initially, and it's hurting men's egos. What do you think?
Well, I think this also made me wonder about dating apps in general, and I think from in my friend circle, it seems like a lot of my girlfriends are moving from Tinder to other apps. So I wonder
what
if
are they moving on to?
Like Bumble, Hinge, because Bumble is the one where, as you kind of talked about this in your introduction about the hierarchy, Bumble, the girl has to talk to the guy first.
Yeah.
And then there are other dating apps or websites that are getting a little bit more popularity.
SugarDaddy.com.
I was going to say Coffee Meets Bagel, but...
JDate.
Yeah,
BlackPeopleMeet.com.
I think that Tinder got spoiled by a couple people trolling it and a couple creepers for a lot of girls, at least that I know in Los Angeles. And I guess I'm just speculating that perhaps this is spread throughout the country, that girls are moving from Tinder to maybe another dating app. And then the guys that are staying on Tinder, and maybe I guess no one gave them the memo, are feeling rejected. And the odds of them matching with a girl are slimmer and slimmer, and then you have to reach out to these people that you don't know and have really no reason to respond to you. The whole dating app situation,
You've never been on dating?
Never been on dating apps. It seems bleak, but I respect the people that are on dating apps because that's the optimism and hope that this country was built on. There is someone out there for everybody, and sometimes it's hard, and you want to go on a dating app and just make it easier for yourself.
I like the efficiency. It's like dating with a resume, because there's no inherent
except it's just looks though,
threat.
Right?
Well, no. When you're on Tinder, you put like your likes, your dislikes. Not your dislikes, but you usually put like what you enjoy doing off of your Facebook. So like you can connect at that level. You can connect through mutual friends. It's kind of interesting because it really maps out how social interaction works. That's how it works at a bar as well. For the first thing that someone notices, no matter how nice of a person you are, the first thing that you notice about the member of the opposite sex or the same sex, if that's what you're interested in, is their physical appearance. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of studies that talk about how women perceive whether someone is a viable sexual partner very quickly, like immediately, as soon as they see them. And then after that, they're eliminating them based on their preferences or the way they talk or their social status, economic status, whether they can get along and all that stuff. So I don't necessarily think that Tinder is that different from the real world. The only thing that helps men and women both is it kind of eliminates that social anxiety of human interaction with people that you don't really know. And that has led to, obviously, some really weird people doing really weird things.
It's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it makes it easier for someone that a potential mate that you're interested in to just reach out and say, like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Because you're behind a keyboard and they just know your picture. It's not a big deal. But it also opens the door for total creepers, which I think are driving by and large girls' way, although I'm sure that there are girls being creepy as well, because they're guys being nudes. Like I made a fake profile with my friend Darren because she just moved to LA and she was single and
allegedly.
What?
Darren, allegedly.
She was single, so we made a fake Tinder profile with ridiculous data on it because it didn't make sense at all. We were like, she's like 6'8", I think we said like she's 6'10" and like 100 pounds.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It didn't make any sense.
I bet some dudes were
And
like, how specific? I'm into that.
Yeah,
Only that.
And then she said, and then her bio was, I like long walks on the beach and blowjobs, preferably receiving, which is a joke from Rick Fox that I think is very funny. In any case, that ridiculous profile, within 20 minutes, she got all these weird, bizarre messages, which of course she was asking for because of her profile.
Well, she also said blowjobs, and,
Right.
and like that's a trigger for most men. They're like, blowjobs.
But
Oh!
she said receiving blowjobs.
Doesn't matter. You saw the word blowjob. You're like, I'm fucking locked in.
I couldn't believe that
Put yourself in the
we put
mind.
this out as like a joke, and then all the very serious responses. Because then someone was like, "Where are you?" And she was like, "I'm in jail." And he's like, "Which jail?" And we're like, "What?"
Yeah, like I'll bail you out, baby. Like,
Yeah, it was crazy. So I feel bad for some of the decent guys or girls that are on Tinder that seems like it might be affecting their self-esteem, because I really do think that a lot of dating apps are ruined by the handful of people, of bad seeds that just drive other people away. Other
But like I
potential
said,
suitors.
I don't even think it's the handful of bad seeds. I think men are just like so driven by testosterone to begin with. Like it's like this thing that we constantly need to keep in check. We're just like, no, do fucked up shit. Like it's always telling us to do terrible, terrible things, right? And that's the reason why, like, when you have this like level of anonymity or this level of detachment from actually seeing the other person that you're affecting, then testosterone's just like, this is a fucking good idea, and you're like, yeah, I guess I see no repercussions, and that's why that happens. I think men are just always going to do that regardless. Like, but they can't really do that in public because they'd get their asses beat.
Right,
so,
because it's not okay.
Yeah. So we're getting to see that in real life. Like we're getting to see that play out, like how men behave when they're unhinged, kind of, and or like unbound by societal norms and rules that regulate their inappropriate behavior. But having said that, I mean, it's good. They need to like something I tell people all the time, like my guy friends, is go out there and talk to girls. Like the key to being successful at flirting with women or men, if that's what you're into, but it's a little bit easier to flirt with men, is just go out there and do it. Like, just talk to girls.
I think
as many girls as you can and get rejected, and understand that being rejected isn't anything. Like, it's not a serious thing at all.
I was going to say, I don't even think that you should, relegate that. No, I wouldn't just leave that only to your guy friends. I think that that's really good advice for everyone in the modern age of dating. I know it can be kind of scary to deal with rejection because a lot of times you can surround ourselves in a really safe bubble and a really safe clique, and then you don't experience rejection because it sucks. But if you can just get past that, it's just a thing. That's my same advice to my single friends as well, is that you just put yourself out there. You'd be really surprised by the decent, awesome people that want to get to know you.
And most importantly, though, like that's one of the things I found out, and this is a tip that Jenk gave me a very long time ago, and I'm glad I followed through with it, is just, again, like I said, you're going to get rejected a lot. Like, it's going to happen.
Especially if you're Hasan.
Especially if you're me. No, but like you are. Everyone's going to get rejected because not everyone is perfect for the other person, right? Like, no matter how physically attractive you may be, or no matter how cool you might be, or how awesome of a job you may have, like, you're going to get rejected by certain people because you just don't fit the bill, or the time is not right for them. There's always going to be other factors that are involved in this connection not happening. But what you will realize after a long history of being rejected is that, one, it doesn't really matter, and two, by the time you're like 2 years, 3 years deep into like talking to all these people all the time, and of course you're going to succeed as well in that period of time, you'll learn how to interact with humans on a personal level, and that's a really invaluable skill set to have.
So that's right, aliens watching from Mars. If you need to learn how to interact with humans, Hasan Piker has the advice for you.
Yeah, bro tip, bringing it back right here. All right, but we want to know what you guys think. Do you feel like Tinder, whether you're a boy or a girl, Tinder makes you feel shittier about yourself? Leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Hasan Piker. This is Grace Baldridge, and
you're watching Pop Trigger.